My name is Thomas, and this is my story. I am 46 years old, a retired Marine and a former sniper. As you can imagine, as a former sniper, I've had to take a life, and because of that, even though it was to save lives, I still felt a tremendous amount of guilt and shame. I've always been a Catholic, went to Mass regular basis. The difference was I always had a relationship with God, but my relationship was more of guilt and a sense of regret for my life experiences. So for me, going to church was, when I went to Mass, was more about not so much praying, but apologizing, not so much asking for forgiveness, but a feeling of basically regret. So I wanted my son to have a better relationship with God than what I was having. So I look at friends and family, and I had both Catholic and as well as Christian friends. So as I looked around and I saw the kids that were behaving well, who had a good relationship with God, I just found them to be Christian. So I called one of my aunts and asked her, can you take us with you to church? I would like to take my son so he can develop a relationship with God. So we arrived at South Bay, and especially as a Catholic, the first impression was pretty dramatic. And I'm thinking, these people are wearing jeans, they're drinking coffee, who's this guy with the little goatee up there talking? The message for the day was, where was God when I? And, me, I'm thinking, I'm a pretty devout Catholic. I know where God is. He's everywhere. But at the end of the sermon, what I got out of it was, what is my relationship with God? Not so much where is He, I know He's around me, but how have I developed that relationship? So, I felt a connection right away with the church. And after a few times, it wasn't about my son anymore, because I was getting so much out of it. And it's just hard to explain, even like with talking with like other friends, and you tell them, we go to church, I felt like God's talking to me. And for us, for me, it's like, no, you don't understand. This is a miracle. He's talking to me. And even when I told some of my other friends, knowing that I was a Marine, they said, after the pastor baptized you, don't jump up and try and dunk him. Don't body slam the pastor for baptizing you. So that was kind of the running joke. So for me and people to see me make the decision was very traumatic, for them, especially knowing me. So one of the biggest changes in me was going from the transition from believer to follower. So as a believer, of course I would, go to church and pray and beg for forgiveness, but now, I pray constantly, but it's more of a conversation between me and the Lord. And my decision was life-changing in the sense that my perception is so much different now. And my relationship with Jesus is more than my best friend, because I probably talk to him several times a day now. And it's a conversation. It's not down on my knees in front of a cross praying to God. It's a one-to-one personal relationship and a conversation, and I couldn't be happier.